I was looking. I was looking this up because TikTok apparently is now banned in China.
It's from China.
I know, and they banned it.
How do you ban it if it's from?
Well, remember when Trump was in office, he made them sell it to an American company.
Oh yeah,
do you remember
right.
that?
Yeah, they own it now.
So now an American company owns it, but they had a Chinese version, and apparently China just banned it. I don't know when. Jonathan, can you look that up? When did China ban it? From my understanding, they had very strict rules on it to begin with. They were saying that you have to have it done by 10 o'clock. It only...
What done by 10 o'clock?
TikTok, it shuts off.
Like you can't use it anymore?
In China.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
The other thing is that it only promoted achievements. So scientific achievements, like, schooling achievements.
Like that was part of the algorithm?
Yeah. Like it only... Like, the thing is they were saying that it is... they were saying that it's only meant to better the people in there over the kids.
Because they're really worried over there about like the internet, because I mean, like, there's some articles like where there's people in China that are like in cafes like playing video games, and I think someone played it for like multiple days on end and didn't come out and like died or something.
Although video sharing app TikTok was developed by a Chinese company, ByteDance is not available in China. Instead, users can download a twin app, Douyin, which also is developed by ByteDance. Douyin features restrictions such as blocks on international content and limits of children's usage. The Chinese state owns a stake in ByteDance subsidiary that controls its domestic Chinese social media. So does it say that it's...
And that's from Time.
Yeah.
That's Time, yeah.
So does this say that it's banned over there now?
Yeah. This is a new article too. It just
got
just got published.
WhatsApp was also banned.
Yeah.
Oh,
so multiple different stuff. So yeah. I guess they're just trying to control
Facebook and Twitter has been Facebook and Twitter have been blocked since 2009 already.
Wow.
And now they took out...
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if we lived in that?
India doesn't have it either.
I see that. There's a bunch of... Iran don't have shit anyways.
North Korea. That makes sense.
North Korea. Come on now. They have everything banned over there.
Yeah, so like, just like not having this social media, like the ease we have of using it so much. And I mean, we use it every day, right?
It's not even the ease. It's just the restriction. Like, imagine if the government could come up and tell you, you don't get to use it past 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, we're using it right now, like...
I know, in order to do this, right?
Like, social media is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We live on social media. People are addicted to social media.
So one of the other things that I was hearing about that is, like, Alexas. How come Alexas, like, how much do you think they actually listen to you? The one thing that it was actually the reason they wanted an American company to own it is because it is the most invasive app for your privacy. TikTok is. TikTok.
Oh yeah, I know the amount of like data they capture from.
They
like,
knew if I was next to you. Even if I didn't have TikTok, they just knew that I was next to you because of my phone's location, and it's crazy because one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was those those like privacy web users. Like instead of Google, there's like DuckDuckGo and other ones that say they don't track
web browsers. Yeah.
How much of that do you actually think is like real?
Yeah.
Like if they advertise themselves as we don't track you, but like, is anybody really looking to see if they don't track you? Like, how do you even look that up?
The type of people that say they don't track you are the ones tracking you.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess people say like, oh, I don't get ads from what I was talking about next to my phone, but like, how much are they not tracking? And are they really not tracking?
Dude, we're being tracked everywhere.
I know. Do you think and that's another thing. Do you think our privacy's just gone?
I think we're getting to that point.
I mean, I feel like ever since the start of social media and everybody having phones, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like
all the location settings and our microphones and Alexas in every room.
Our face. Our phone unlocks with a face. It scans our eyes and our face and literally unlocks.
Yeah.
It started with the fingerprint. Everything. It's funny. My dad told me, he goes, watch. He said, it's going to start with the fingerprint. And then next thing you know, you're going to have other things to unlock it, just so that they can build a profile of you so that they can tell on every security camera if it's actually you or not.
Oh yeah, like face tracking.
Mm-hmm.
It can identify people through photos.
And there was a huge update that I remember people were talking about when we were in COVID, where your phone could unlock with a mask. And so, like, they were trying to make it so that if you're wearing a hat, sunglasses, a mask, they can read through all of that and still be able to detect it's you.
That's not surprising.
I mean, but like...
But they say it's for your own good, right? Like, if you do this, it's easier to access your phone.
Yeah.
And like, this is for your own good, just do it. Like, it'll make your life easier. And so, like...
Well, the counterpart to that is, if you're a law-abiding citizen, why does it matter? Right? If you do everything law-abiding, it's no problem. But
I guess, yeah. Like,
but what if people go back against certain things? Like, people stood up for the mask mandates and the vaccine. Is that a law-abiding citizen? Because you're going against the narrative that they want you to follow? Or are you then deemed an enemy? Because remember, people who were Republicans were domestic terrorists in the start.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that we're so far past privacy. I don't think we could ever get to a point where we could have it truly back.
Yeah, they already got everything, and we're trapped now.
Well, the only way I could see that happening is if we had like an apocalypse, right? Like if we were to go in and literally, let's say
reset everything, like another asteroid hitting,
or COVID. Let's say COVID did what The Walking Dead does, and it wipes out everybody, and on top of that, the people that died, let's say they turned into zombies, hypothetically, right? Let's say COVID really took a shit, and like everybody got
terrible disease. Everyone's getting
killed.
Like
what was that movie during COVID? Bird Box. Remember that one where if you looked at them, like you were like...
Well, I mean, I would say more like I Am Legend.
Okay.
Like that type of zombies.
I
don't know if you've seen that movie. Have you seen it? That was a great movie.
Is it?
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, what would happen then? Like what would you do? Let's say COVID turned people into zombies. What would you do?
Oh shoot! You put me on the spot with this one. I guess like it's weapons, and it's trying to find a secure location to like stay in, and you're obviously gonna try to find like a bow and arrow or something, and like knives, something you can like reuse. I guess like just you need like a secure location. I don't even know what you would do.
Start boarding up your house.
Like I feel like the water would be the best spot, like out on the water.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like if zombies can't swim, then like would I go? Why wouldn't you just go on a boat and take like a dinghy back to shore?
That's what I'm saying. It all depends if they can swim or not, you know. But even if like they can swim, I feel like you're still safer in the water because like it's just.
It's funny.
Like trying to have a zombie swim up to your boat and like board the boat.
Yeah, it doesn't have a brain.
It's easier than it like being able to like run at you and like covering your house and trying to break in. Like if you're on a boat, you're in the middle of nowhere. I feel like a lot of them couldn't like get to you, and you can just kind of like bunker down on that boat.
Yeah, I mean
but then the problem's food, just like storage space.
Yeah.
You know, you got a boat, so how are you gonna store all that stuff?
I mean, what would you do? I don't know. I mean, I've always think it's funny because you watch horror movies and you watch like The Walking Dead. They do everything you were like, no. Like, don't do that.
You do that.
Like in horror movies, they're like, don't go behind that door. Oh my God. And then they walk behind the door.
In the movies, though, that's to like add to like the whole thing. Like, if they did everything right, there's no story to tell.
Yeah, but it's so unrealistic. Like, you hear a noise behind a door, right? They're like, oh, what's that?
Let's go investigate.
I know, they already know that.
Not.
Let's just go, leave.
Yeah.
If there was a zombie apocalypse, though, the first thing I would probably do is I would probably try to, first thing is not panic, right? Because you're going to be in a freaking panic state. But I would try to, like, figure out what our needs and what our wants. Get everything that I absolutely need, guns, food, whatever. Honestly, my opinion, I'd go out to, like, up north. I'd get the hell up. I'd go into a remote location, whether that be on the water or something. So I guess the same kind of concept with you on the boat is you'd go for a remote location. But at that point, how much of people's stuff is actually theirs? Like, I feel like you could just go steal somebody else's boat.
Yeah,
right?
anybody's stealing everything.
You go to Home Depot, you can steal wood. Like, you're
Who's going to stop
you?
you?
Yeah, what are you going to go pay the cashier? Like, no, you're taking that shit.
There's no police.
Yeah.
So, you guys were talking about the apocalypse and COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The great movie that came out in 2020, it's called Songbird, depicts what would happen in 2023 if life continued as it did. The world would shut down. You couldn't see anybody. You couldn't see family or friends. And if they found out you had COVID, they would come to your door, remove you,
I think I saw the trailer for this.
And bring you to a work camp.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Was I right about Bird Box? Type in Bird Box. Up in that search bar. Because Bird Box was that with, what's that girl from The Proposal?
Yeah, my sister loves her, but I just can't think of her name.
Sandra
Bullock.
Bullock. Yep. That was a great movie. But that was a little different. That was like if you looked.
That was like a monster. That wasn't like.
But the people turned to zombies though, didn't they?
Yes. When you looked at someone who had it.
They tried to attack you. Yeah, I remember because that one guy who wanted to come
around.
He wanted to come in the house.
Yeah.
And they that's what happened.
So
they would all they'd force you to look at it.
Oh yeah. This is a great movie. I should probably watch this again.
Yeah, dude, that was so long ago.
Yeah, because I remember they were always wearing bandanas.
How about the Bird Box Challenge when people were walking around, driving around, getting in accidents because they were trying to do it.
They were trying to cover their eyes.
They put bandanas around their eyes, and
I don't remember that. No, do you remember the cinnamon challenge?
Oh yeah,
kids were taking cinnamon
eat this whole thing, this whole cupful,
and they were dying, or Tide Pods. Yeah.
I don't even know how you die from that, but it does happen.
Because it dehydrates your throat,
and you just can't breathe.
You can't breathe because it takes every wetness out of it. It absorbs it, and it literally just clumps.
You're fine until you breathe in.
Yeah.
Once you breathe in, the dryness completely dries out your lungs.
Yeah.
And you just choke.
I wonder if you could. It's like if you start choking, can you drink water and stop it, or is it like the?
Well, no, because it creates a layer. Like it's like imagine a tube, going into the hole.
Oh, and it
clogs it. So how the water would just fill up on top.
Filling up, and now you're drowning yourself on top of it.
And I remember they made a big thing about it. Don't do this.
Accidental
inhalation of cinnamon can seriously damage the lungs by causing inflammation and leading to infection. The usual result of the stunt is coughing, gagging, fit involving clouds of cinnamon, which leaves some people gasping for air. Yeah, what more?
Wikipedia.
See, this is
why it's Wikipedia. You don't know.
Oh, I didn't.
But I'm sure it's probably.
So this is why China banned TikTok. Because the thing is they gave us the American version where we got people who don't know what gender they are. They got people dancing around and singing, having fun. But then you look at China's version, it's all achievement, science. They're getting smarter while we're getting stupider. We're really, really dumb. Who can take the most cinnamon down their throat? We're all like, what the hell is that?
That was before that, right? Or was it from TikTok?
I think it was TikTok.
Dang,
I'm pretty
it feels
sure.
like so long ago. Though.
I know. I remember.
I feel like TikTok's not even that old.
How did you get on TikTok? What was your first experience with TikTok?
It was just people talking about it,
I downloaded it the second it came out. I saw our friend Katie's story. And I was like, what the fuck is this? TikTok? What is a clocking app? I don't get it. So I click on it. And I started clicking. And this was back when there was maybe 100 to 1,000 videos. There was nothing. You scrolled and you hit the bottom.
You get to the end. That's it.
And so I remember I was watching it, and I was actually at a previous friend of ours. I was at his house, and I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. I'm just going to go watch TikTok for an hour and go to bed. So by the time I got done scrolling, I'm like, man, I got really tired. So I looked at the time. It was 4 a.m. I deleted TikTok for 4 weeks, and then I was like, but everybody's getting back on, and that's when it became big. It's during that 4-week period.
Once everyone started.
Yeah, and so
that's when I got on.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't right away at all.
Yeah, no, I was before it had endless scrolling. It was I'm not even joking. There was probably 1,000 videos, and nobody was big. I mean, if you had a follower, it was huge.
You used to only be able to have a 7-second clip too.
Yeah, it was short, real short clips.
Kind of like Vine.
It was definitely imitating Vine for sure. That was a good app.
But Vine was always better. I mean, if we could have it back, I would definitely.
Why did Vine go away? Vine was such a good app.
Twitter bought it and then canceled it.
Really?
They're probably trying to like advance their.
Well, because it was another social media, right? They're trying to get rid of the competition.
Yep.
Create more of a monopoly.
And then I think they started their own type of short video sharing on theirs. So.
No, I remember when TikTok was blowing up. Snapchat came out, or when Snapchat came out with stories. Yeah. Do you remember Snapchat before stories? What we got here? Okay, so the thing about Vine becoming the internet's premier tool for short form videos is that it happened almost completely by accident. Its founders envisioned their tool making 6-second clips as a way to help people capture casual moments in their lives. It was part of the pitch to Twitter, which bought the company for a reported $30 million. That's it?
That's it.
Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
In October 2012, seeing it as a near-perfect video analog to flagship apps. Look up how much they sold TikTok for.
That one was from The Verge. I don't even know what that is, but
yeah. Well, we can shout them
There's
out.
so many. There's
websites are unbelievable. There's so many.
There's so much news now, though. You don't know which one to even like trust.
Yeah, I know. And so
like I feel like I could put out a news article and make up like a fake website and have people believe it.
I remember Snapchat when it used to be circles. Remember that? Like when you get a Snapchat, it would legit be like a circle, like instead of a square. Like you know how it came out with the square. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The square like box where it's red if you get.
Yeah, it used to be a circle.
You might remember that. I can't remember that.
Well, then I remember they came out with stories, right? Snapchat I got on pretty early too.
Yeah.
But then they came out with stories. I thought, you know what I thought Snapchat was? I thought Snapchat was like the picture version of Kik. Do you remember Kik?
Yeah, I remember Kik.
Yeah.
Kik was big messaging.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Well, it was a way we could use it on our iPods.
Internet. So we could just text using the internet instead of having cellular service.
For us, we were on iPods. We didn't have phones to like text.
So it wasn't
people.
We didn't have cellular service to send text. No. So we used the Wi-Fi. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Kik was big, and then Snapchat got really big really fast. I remember I got on that pretty early. And then they came out with stories, and then Instagram came out with stories right after that, and nobody used Instagram stories.
Snapchat is kind of like it's so funny because like the new generation is like, or I mean the older generation is like, why would you send pictures with your typing? And it's like, why not? You can get this facial and you get like a more connection with the person you're texting instead of like a text bubble.
I can't find anything about TikTok being sold, but it's valued to $250 billion.
They sold Vine for $30 million.
Wow.
And Vine is still bigger than TikTok.
No. Look that up. Look it up.
Now?
No way.
More people.
Not a chance.
Vine is bigger than TikTok.
No way.
I don't even think anybody uses it.
No. That when it was big versus when TikTok's big. I don't think so. Yeah. I think TikTok has gotten because Vine was like for kids.
And I think it was like more an American thing. Did it get to the whole world?
But it was more of just jokes.
I know TikTok.
It was more comedy where
TikTok's so different.
TikTok, there's a lot of adversity.
I get so much information off of TikTok. All those like life hacks, man. I get so many like stuff like you can't even picture thinking of doing, and it just pulls it up like how to do it, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't even know
there's like so much interesting stuff on there, just like people sharing stuff that they know, and you don't even think to look up.
I'm trying to think. Was there any other apps that were really like big, like Minecraft? But
I can't find.
Well, Minecraft's not an app; it's a game.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I couldn't really tell you. Like, we got Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook and Twitter. That's like the big ones right now.
I feel like we grew up in the weirdest time because we got to see what technology really has become, but we never got to see it before technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were born in the 80s, you didn't know what technology was really.
Vine had 200 million active users at its peak, whereas TikTok has 1 billion.
Yeah.
1 billion.
That's what I'm saying. That's a seventh of the country or the world.
Because 290 million, I think that's the U.S. That was our U.S. watching it.
And they're expected to reach 1.8 billion by the end of 2022.
That's literally a seventh of the entire world. is 1 billion people. There's 7 billion people.
And they're gonna get almost 2 billion by the end of 2022.
That's all expecting. But I mean, they could end just as fast as Vine, though.
Well, now they're too big. No companies. Vine only ended because of Twitter.
Vine got bought out.
They didn't end out of a choice. I mean, they did. They sold it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Twitter probably pitched it to him like, we're gonna kill your app.
Yeah.
Like they probably pitched it to him and was like,
oh, we're gonna help you.
Yeah, we can use this.
Sign this paperwork.
Yeah.
Just sign right there.
Yep. Right on the dotted line.
All right, you're done. Oh, did you read all the fine
Oh, you didn't read the fine print?
It was only 240 pages.
No. That's the thing. Like you look at Apple and they're like, you want to read the terms and conditions, and you start scrolling. You're like, oh my God! And then you're like, all right, agree.
Yes. And that was actually, I spent my last college semester. I spent a whole semester. We got to choose our papers, and I also did a speech class where we got to choose our speeches. And that was one of the big things I've done. Was researching about your privacy policies that you have on all these websites.
How much you don't actually have?
No, how much you have to read on these.
Mm-hmm.
And then, how much also you don't have. And I mean, it was saying you would have to spend 29 hours a month. That was some research I did, just adding it all up. It was close to 29 hours a month you'd have to spend reading because of all the websites you access. So think about each website you go on.
Yeah.
And it says, oh, do you want to accept the terms and conditions or the cookies or whatever?
Yeah.
You just hit, yeah, and you scroll through the website. Each of those has their own, privacy policy that you're going on and not even reading. Wow. And if you wanted to read all of them, it was going to be 29 hours a month. Yeah, and you're just hitting accept, and you don't know what you're accepting.
Yeah, that's the scary part, right? Is like...
And TikTok just had a big thing. They were stealing U.S. data.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. I think when you might have left, we were talking about how China, there was a guy who wrote a book about this, and they talked about it on a podcast I was listening to.
We were talking about this before we started, though, right?
Yeah, but it was about how.
Look at this, CNBC. TikTok shares more data than more than.
Yeah, there was a guy who I'm not joking. There was a guy who wrote a book about it. And he was saying that that TikTok, he did research, out of all the apps, TikTok is the most invasive and the most privacy sharing. Like, it literally gets rid of your privacy.
When I was...
As a study noted, third-party trackers can track your activity on other sites. Do you see that now? Because Apple lost a huge lawsuit about that. They lost a lawsuit where now they have to ask you, will you allow this app to track you? And so there was a guy on Joe Rogan's TikTok who was explaining...
Look at this right here.
Where? To conduct a study, URL Genius used the Record app activity...
Record app?
Yeah, I was going to say record and record. App activity feature from Apple's iOS to count how many different domain track a user's activity across 10 different social media apps: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Telegram, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Messenger, and WhatsApp. Over the course of one visit, before you even log into your account, YouTube and TikTok tapped the other apps with 14 contacts apiece, significantly higher than the study's average number of 6 network connections per app. So they already connected to freaking 14 other apps before you even got to log in.
Wait, this is from CNBC, but who did this study? Oh, URL Genius.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I was saying. So what he was saying is that the crap, I forgot my train of thought because you brought that up. They were saying that this guy wrote a book, right, about all the different apps, just like this article. And he literally was astonished at how much information TikTok gives away.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I did my study, it said the top one was Grindr.
Really?
But I mean, because think about when you're using these dating sites, it's asking for your age, it's asking for your occupation, it's asking for what age.
Yeah, but at least it's asking you. Imagine if you're just finding it. No, I know. Imagine if you're just finding it out. That's even more invasive. At least it's asking you.
But this, it said Grindr contained the most information about you.
Wow.
And then there was I think Snapchat was up there, Tinder again, it's the dating apps.
Yeah.
Because they're asking you everything about you so they can, find you your match.
So when Apple went through that lawsuit, I'm going to say it was a lawsuit. I don't know positively if it was. But the guy did research on it, and he said that, so kind of what it is like Google, right? So Google, when you go and click on them and use them, they are sucking you of information. Everything in your phone, everything, they suck it all out. So now, what they're saying is that now that Apple lost that privacy lawsuit, because Apple used to take your information, put it in other places, sell it to all the people.
Yeah.
Now what they're saying is instead of being, Apple might owe money after class action lawsuit. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. $14 million. Oh, this is in 2015 though. This one I'm talking about is more recent, I'm pretty sure, Jonathan. But this is by CNET.
This is 2022.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're saying that they owe money though. So what he was saying is let's say that, you know how when you talk on your phone, or you're talking around, and you're talking about a pool, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you get all these ads for pools.
Yeah.
So the thing is now Apple they can't listen in, but like, if they know you kind of go to these places or you kind of look at this stuff, now you're, instead of being an individualized thing, right? You talking on your phone is individualized.
Yeah.
But now you're more of like in a group. You like certain things on Instagram. You go to certain stores. Now you've kind of bunched in. So it's not complete privacy gone away. Like, you're not getting all your privacy back. But what it is you're getting, at least you're not like narrowed down into an individual. You're more of in a group setting now. Yeah. So
what this article is saying is when they, when you put your stuff in the cloud, they were using third-party cloud services.
Oh, so they're using that to hold your information.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. So they only paid $14 million though. Mm-hmm. Was that what it said?
Yeah.
What was the number? 14.8, I think. Yeah. This is from CNET.
Yeah, 14.
Wow. To customers, to certain customers.
Yeah.
So they're selling it to other people, like their
third
customers.
Parties. Yep. Oh. So like we have Apples, right?
Yeah.
They're taking your information and selling it to those scammers that are calling you.
You can go on the dark web and pay like a certain amount of money, and then they'll just send you like the credit cards that they take. They can get someone's credit card, and they can take another piece of plastic, like another card, and they can just like swipe the one and then swipe the other one, and then this one will have the same scanning thing.
No, it'll use that. Me, I got almost $100 taken from me for a Chipotle order from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Online order.
So that was what I was gonna say. So there's, how they make out there's like cases now. There's wallets. They have that technology. What's that technology called? Where like people used to be able to walk by you with like a scanner, and it would scan all your credit cards.
Oh, like skimming, or I think they call it.
Like they would just walk past you. They didn't have to pickpocket you.
They have that RFID blocker.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
RFID.
Yeah.
They literally, you just walk past them, and they have all your information from all your cards, and they don't even need to look it up on websites. They just have the information, then they duplicate it onto a new card.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how that works, but yeah, because like we have like the touch to pay now, so it must pick that up somehow.
That scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
That I just tap it.
Yeah, and like someone can walk by and just tap your wallet or something.
Yeah. And
it goes right through it.
Or your phone now.
Or your
Apple
phone.
Pay.
Yeah.
Because if somebody hacks your phone or you lose your phone, all they gotta do is press the button 3 times.
Or like imagine if they logged into your phone and used like they got these your things. Apple ID.
Dude, do you grab these?
Yeah, card skimming.
I do it every time now.
Every time at a gas station, I grab this. People are putting covers that look identical to this over top of it. And then you literally just pull it off. See if there's a YouTube video about that, John, where they literally just pull that shit off.
Yeah,
and then there's literally a card reader.
It's got a little tiny circuit board in there, and it reads it before you put it in. But then,
as you're swiping it, and it uses the same mechanism to go and transfer it.
Same thing that the other one uses, and it's just on top of it. And then
they said they were getting 60 to like 80 cards just on this one memory chip.
Like per day, or
because you don't. When you go to a gas station, you swipe your card. You don't really think much of it. Now I do. Oh, right here. Give us some value.
$2 after using this credit card reader inside a 7-Eleven in McKinney, Texas.
This is from NBC.
She had a suspicion that something wasn't
Look at
right.
this. She just pulled the whole cover off.
And look, like, that's crazy. You can type through it.
TikTok and Twitter,
yeah.
Now going viral. You can see
There's
the card
TikTok
scanner
again.
placed right on top of the credit card reader, and how easily she was able to pop it off. Rattler told us this all started last Wednesday, when she went in to buy a bag of chips.
The cashier was like, you know, your card is declining, basically. And I'm like, what is going on?
A call to her bank, though, showed her account had been drained.
About how much money was illegally charged?
This is why you don't use debit cards.
$600 in total.
Yeah.
$600.
Yeah.
Credit cards, you can get your
So
money
she
back.
tried to remember the last purchase she made at a 7-Eleven. Taking matters into her own hands, she went back to the store to inspect their card readers.
The way that you can tell is the machine should be flat on the side. There should be no gaps. So I started comparing the two, and the one to the right, it had a gap.
McKinney police say they are investigating the incident.
So now the question is who's liable? Does she go after 7-Eleven?
Well, that looked like it was put on there by 7-Eleven.
That's what I was
Because
thinking.
it's right on the counter next to the person. I mean, you watching that all the time,
Yeah.
right? You're sitting there checking people out. It's right here.
That'd be the first person they would go to.
Right? Well, who do you do? Take it to the police?
Go through cameras.
Or do you think that... well, she had a debit card, right? So the thing is like, she drained her account because she used a debit card. That's why you always use
cash.
credit cards.
Yeah, your cash is being taken.
So do you think the credit card company will try to go after them? Because all she cares about is her money. Like, if let's say it was me, and I used my credit card, right?
Credit card
and there's $1,000 on my credit card, and I say, whoa, I didn't spend $1,000.
They would go after that 7-Eleven for being not, I don't know the right word, being
maybe they would have said it later in the...
being unaware of what's going on in their store.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to keep their security up, but...
Also, they would go through video footage and see who put that there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's always like that. I don't know if it's like a couple $100, I don't think the credit card company would really go into it because they have insurance.
Yeah.
They have insurance that covers that.
Well, they also make so much money. I mean,
So,
$600 is like nothing to them. But I guess if you let $600, and you multiply that by how many people they actually have.
After it. I got 100 and they went after mine.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they're trying to catch the criminal like all.
No, they just
try
to get the money
just
back.
get the money back.
Oh,
They try, or
so what happens with
they
that?
just have
I
insurance.
researched this. What happens about that? They go after the company.
Mm-hmm.
Then the company gives them their money. The company has to deal with that.
Yeah. Okay.
So they either take a loss or not.
So now the next question is what about subscriptions, right?
Yeah, just like you know what's crazy about that? Like, just all these subscriptions on your phone that like you put on, or just like anything in general, app subscriptions, and they're just running in the background. Like I've been watching. Okay, for 4 months I've been watching Planet Fitness take money out of my account, and I'm just too lazy to cancel it, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, just having those subscriptions just keep reoccurring, and like you're doing nothing to stop them because like you're either too lazy, or it's just like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like they're slowly gonna like drain our accounts with microtransactions.
I know.
Like, and then like season passes for games, and it's just. These microtransactions.
Did you hear about Truebill?
No.
So Truebill is I've never used it.
Oh, I have heard about
where
it.
It like puts all your subscriptions in one spot.
It tracks them all and like you can cancel them through the app.
Do you think that works?
I don't know. I've never tried it, but it's got to work, right? I mean, it's out there. It's pretty big. Like, it's advertised pretty big. It seems pretty reputable. But like, have you seen that new subscription that it's from BMW, but technically right now it's only in South Korea at this point. But they're charging you something like $16 a month to use your heated seats that you paid for in your $50,000 car.
They're going to charge us for everything. You want tires? That's a subscription. We'll come steal them right off your fucking car. Why BMW is offering heated seats on monthly subscription? Scroll down. This is by who? CNN?
CNN Business.
Okay.
Oh, look, this is British drivers.
It says BMW is now offering British drivers the option of enjoying a heated seat on a monthly subscription basis. Of course, you can still get heated seats the regular way. Just buy them as an option when you purchase a car. But for those who didn't do that, or who bought a used car without the feature, BMW will enable it for a monthly fee, so you could try out having a nice warm seat on a cold.
And then
What, do they just put it in?
Look, I did say South Korea, but it says right there are numerous media reports this week about BMW launching the program in South Korea, but that was actually a misunderstanding, according to BMW. In that case, it was a database error in BMW's online shop. So the British program is real.
Not only that, you will have to pay $12 a month, €10.
Yeah.
Just to have it.
So it's
wow.
So yeah, it wasn't South Korea. It's British. So it's Britain. It's not even like a.
But that doesn't make sense. It says it says up there even if you bought the car used. So like, what are they gonna put heated seats in it?
Like, no, I think if you bought that year's model and it gets transferred, not older cars, I don't think they'll put it in.
Where are you at here? The heating coils and other hardware required to actually heat the seat are already in the car, but owners can, if they wish. So they put the material in.
Yeah, it's already in there.
What a waste!
And you can't use it. Imagine just having something that you paid for. And then you have to pay on top of it to use it. And that's crazy because they can do that.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Nothing.
You probably, again,
BMW.
You probably...
Yeah, right? Boycott BMW.
You probably signed on the line.
Yeah.
When you bought the car that said, oh, I allow these subscriptions.
All those privacy everything.
And terms and conditions.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it. Like, oh, I want to use my heated seats. I'm sure there's going to be a way around it, though. Like, by, jailbreaking it or whatever. But if you just want to, do
if you know how the wires work, it's already freaking built into the car.
Yeah, just like
you just wire it up.
But I mean, if you don't want to go through that and you just want to own your, OEM car, like your stuff.
Look at this. It's not only for the heated seats.
Oh, whoa. Some other features are already being offered for subscription in the United States. Currently, North American BMW owners can separately purchase remote start. My dad does that. My dad pays a subscription for his Mercedes to use the remote start, because in Germany it's illegal to have remote start. They were turning them into car bombs.
Oh.
And they were using it as a trigger.
That's not
and
good.
So they got, like, if you buy a Mercedes, like an old Mercedes or a BMW, like older, I'm not talking like old, but like an older, like maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they didn't have remote start. It's not an option because they were using them and turning them into car bombs. You click it twice and boom.
Yeah.
And so it was a huge problem, apparently, big enough where they took it out, and now you have to pay a subscription so they know who you are if you detonate the car.
Oh, because they can track where you're doing. Again, they're tracking you.
Always, everything.
But I see then it's a good thing.
Well,
then it's a bad thing. So it's so hard to find out where you draw the line, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing with a lot of things. There's a lot of things that can be used for our safety, but like, where do you draw the line, right? Because there's a very fine line between being too invasive and not invasive enough. Now, in my opinion, I would rather them not invasive enough, but I'm not a psychopath. If I was a psychopath, I'd be like...
Yeah, we can't get in their minds to figure out what they're thinking.
Well, that's
so hard
thing.
to stop.
You can't avoid psychopaths. There's 7 billion people. The odds of them having 0 is none.
It's like a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's I feel like sometimes it's taught that way through parenting certain ways. But like, I feel like mental illness is getting to be such a problem in this country. And like,
is it too much of a problem? Are we recording, Jonathan? Is it too much of a problem, or is it is it the actual fact that people didn't talk about it? Because there's a real thing about having it not be talked about too, right? Like, people could have had anxiety 30, 40 years ago. They just never talked about it.
Yeah.
So, and I also think, coming from someone who does have anxiety, the more you talk about it, the more the problem gets worse, in my mind. Because
I guess it's different for all people.
So, the fish tank or the fridge. The other thing is like, they started talking to me about it and tried to figure out a way to solve it, rather than telling me like what somebody would have heard 40 years ago. Suck it up.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Everybody else deals with it.
I mean, but there's a lot of people that do like to have that whole conversation. Because, like, I mean, therapists,
Do you think we're becoming softer though?
Yes.
Like, do you think as a society, because we've talked about it so much and we've accepted it so much, that weakness is good?
Well, I think that's with anything, right? The more you talk about it, the more like the easier it becomes to just accept.
Yeah.
Like you're getting like I don't know what, not neutralized.
Normalized.
Yeah, it becomes normalized.
Mm-hmm.
Just like instead of being looked at in a different way, it's just normal.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I'm not saying talking about it is bad, but like the way that they change on you, right? Like they act like they've just told you, or you just told them you have cancer, right? Like people start treating you different.
Yeah.
And the way that the doctor changed, I understand it, because anxiety goes a lot with people that have depression. I'm not depressed. I have no depression at all. But they treated me like I did because of how closely related anxiety and depression is. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not mad at them. I just didn't like that they did that. I'm not going to go and scream at them. I'm not crazy. But I was just saying, like, it was because they made me feel so soft. If I grew up in a household where everything was okay, it's all sunshine and rainbows, I probably would have really loved it, right? Somebody else telling me the world's all great. Because the problem is we're seeing this now. We're growing up. Shit is, you got to take your own shit and you got to deal with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's so bad if you're told everything's great,
mm-hmm.
because then when you get hit with this realization, it hits so much harder
mm-hmm.
than being taught the correct way.
That is why I hate participation trophies. Absolutely hate them. Because if you tell everybody you can always win, you tried, right?
Yeah.
It's not like that.
No, it
you
really
fuck
isn't.
up, you lose. That's the way it should be. You need to feel what it feels like. The amazing feeling you get when you win.
Yeah, you gotta know what it
feeling
takes
when you
to
lose.
win.
When you get that feeling you lose, that also builds something inside of you.
Yes,
go out
drive.
And do something differently.
If you lose and you hate that feeling, you are crying and you feel a terrible feeling in your gut that you lost that football or soccer game. It gives you an effort and a drive to go and try to win, and that is the importance of it. Now, parents are like, "Oh, I don't want my kids to feel sad. Everybody's got to be..." No, that's not how the world works. Because when you're in business fighting for a job, nobody's going to be like, "But you tried. You didn't get the fucking job." That's it.
It helps us better ourselves
mm-hmm.
as people, having that,
mm-hmm.
want to be better.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone gets a participation medal, you're all the same. There's no point in bettering yourself. So this kid over here is the same as this kid.
Mm-hmm.
When this kid... this kid scored 10 goals, this kid got none and lost.
Mm-hmm. That's not...
They're not the same. It's like if this person works at NASA and is like the CFO, does everything great, and this person works at McDonald's as a store manager, and say you pay them the same,
mm-hmm.
and you respect them the same, when it's not the same.
So you want to know what's not the same?
You have to show these people that there's a difference.
The difference is, and this correlates to, this killed me, right? Because I'm 20 years old, about to be 21 in a couple months. There is a kid who is 18 years old that just got drafted to the Red Wings. I'm pretty sure he's 18. Kid's 2 years younger than me and just signed $1 million contract or whatever amount. Look up how much his contract was. The guy who we signed to the Red Wings.
Marco.
God, I can't remember.
Marco Casper. Yeah.
I watched his highlights.
Yeah.
Outstanding athlete.
He does. He knows how to play some hockey.
Do you think he got participation medals?
No, I think he never got one in his life.
I don't think so.
Especially not in the United States. I think he was.
How about this? There's someone who's my age playing on FC Barcelona with men.
Best team.
Yeah, especially his country. I mean, we have like a lot of these like first world countries like the U.S. and Britain, and those type of countries do give out participation medals. But he was like more of a Slavic type country, and I don't think
I was gonna say I don't think he's from the United States.
No.
And they definitely have a different mentality over there.
He doesn't even speak much English.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It was hard for him to speak.
I didn't see the interview.
It was
a 3-year, 2.85.
Oh, so it's not that.
And how old is he?
It's a starting contract.
But I don't think Larkin gets paid that much. I think Larkin has the most on the Red Wings, and he's 18, only 14.
He is younger than me. He was born April 8th of 2004.
2004?
Holy crap! He's like 16?
I think he's 17.
Or no,
18.
18.
Oh, just turned 18 in April.
Wow.
There he is.
He's just an adult.
Marco Casper.
Yep.
Keep an eye out for this guy.
That was what I was going to say, though, with his voice. He was talking to Larkin. They called him up on the phone, and it was hard for him to talk, trying to translate. But
this has got to be the hardest year, because he's not from the United States, right, John?
No, he's from Sweden.
So this guy came and played over here from Sweden during the pandemic. Probably wouldn't get to see his family very much.
Damn, he did good in Sweden, though.
Yeah, look at that, goals. What's the total? They have a total goals?
21 goals for this season.
2020.
Games played 22, goals scored 29.
Assists 34.
He got a goal a game.
He got
over a goal a game.
And 34 assists.
And 34 assists.
He popped off.
Was that
That's 2020, though?
Penalties, though?
Yeah.
No, that's points.
That's points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm happy that we got a goalie. That's all I gotta say.
We got a goalie.
I've been going.
We got another defenseman. We got a center. We got another center. And I mean, we signed, I think, 8 people last week.
And we fired all the coaches and hired new ones. We took the assistant coach from Lightning.
I'm so excited for next year.
Look at him. Look at that. That's an absolute stud.
We got Marco Casper, Dylan James.
Okay. Traded for goalie right there. Billy Husso. Wow. Yeah. Okay, nice.
But then we also signed a bunch of free agents last week too. Mm-hmm. So we're moving people around like crazy.
The new head coach was the assistant coach for the Lightning.
Lightning. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's where Yzerman came from. I mean, he started at the Red Wings back in his career, but he took them to the championship or the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Nice. We got a good setup going, and I've been going to a few games this year, and we were looking great. In the beginning of the season, we looked phenomenal, and then we really dulled out.
Yeah, we definitely fizzled out, but this
is the guy who's gonna bring us back. Right?
All right,
Derek
Lalonde. All righty.
But yeah, I mean,
look at the bald head fuck. What the hell? He's old.
He does look pretty old.
49.
No way.
He is. It says 49.
Hey, man's got some stress going.
Man, he looks aged.
Could you imagine
Holy
coaching hockey though? I could see where you'd be.